let me get it on YouTube here. Where the hell is it? Come on. Where am I not getting it live? Live now. There we go. All right. I think we're good. All right. Hello, everybody. This is Mike coming at you from the Garfield's Coin Club here. It's a nice Saturday evening here in Ohio, and we're live with John. And start round three of our little competition here. So where do you guys want to go tonight? Open us up and we'll figure it out, buddies.
Hey, Keystone Stacker just joined us. Thank you for stopping in, Keystone. And funny enough, Keystone Stacker, he's a young guy like us, Mike, and he's got a couple munchkins. And he asked me a pretty interesting question about investing. Did you see that video I posted for him?
I viewed part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I did get a chance to look at it. And overall with the investing thing, we talked about this in the last couple of videos that, you know, it's very lucrative right now. I mean, considering the chance to start it up, especially, I mean, there's no time, there's no late way to get into it either. To be honest with you, whenever you get into it, you get into it. It's always good to have little ones, though. That's the driving force of it, I guess.
Listen, he's big into stocks. I've got his comment here. It was about he's buying his son Vanguard Total Index about one share every month or so. And, you know, man, stock prices are up, up, up. He's going to be, you know, will his son experience the up, up, up? You know?
See why he won't, considering... come on, if we look at the historic ups and downs here, I just looked at the ratio again, things like that, over $80 between gold and silver. It's just now I think we're paying attention to it more since we're so modernized with our technology where we can check every instant, every day versus once a day on the news or once a day in the newspaper. I think we're a lot more privy to what's going on. And sometimes it might get people a little worried, which we shouldn't worry about it. I mean, I know people that invest heavily in Apple that every day are paranoid or get upset because they should have or you know, made more money. But I think that's what it is. I think we're just more concerned because we're able to see more nowadays.
Yeah. So what's new with you, Mike? Anything? Did you buy anything recently? Sell anything?
Yeah, in the past week or so, I've almost completed my set of maples. My non-privy marks, excluding that 99 2000 year. I'm still one short, but my son and I sat back and put them in their spots, and it's nice. It's a very gratifying thing when you almost get done with a set and you can move on to the next one. The fun part is you never know what the next one's going to be. You never know where you're going to go with it. So where we're going to go, don't know. I can't tell you right now.
When you said you put them in there, you guys put them in their spots, what did you put them in?
I put them in air tights. I put almost everything I got in air tights. I don't use the foam ring. A direct fit. And we just put them in our nice little, you know, display box. And I'm not a folders for constitutional stuff and things of that nature. So we put them in there, and he likes figuring out which one goes where. I try to make him realize the order of years, numbers. We're still getting there. You can count to 20 now. But, you know, it's fun because now that he goes, oh, this is mine. I'm like, yep. So every time we get something, and we're just trying to figure out the next thing. And he's a big wildlife. He loves animals. So I'm thinking of doing animal stuff with him next. You know, maybe some more Somalis or something like that.
Hey, Keystone Stacker asks if we have any paper money. Do you have any paper money, Mike?
Yes. Not a ton, but I do have a couple things. I've sold a lot of my stuff to the club. Actually, a lot of the stuff was from my uncle back in what do you want to call it? When he was in the Navy, he got a lot of stuff from the Netherlands and from what do you want, Amsterdam. I got a couple pieces of Argentine money, but I sold most of it off. The only thing that I got now are couple. I got every from 28. I got every series of the $2 bill just for sakes of collecting it. Couple silver certificates. Just bought that beautiful set off of you last month from the Garfield Coin Club that had the silver note in it. And I got some World War II occupational dollars that my grandfather brought back and gave to my mom. The little, I don't know if you call them pay sheets or whatever, but the little square piece of money, I got about 8 of those. So it's an okay collection.
Nice.
Very friends that collect a lot of it, put it that way.
Yeah. I recently picked up a couple of the Libertads, and I've been talking about it, and so I came across 2 half-ounce Libertads, and they're business strike. I took a look online. I said, I wonder how much these are online. I got them for just about spot price. And I went to appmex.com. Appmex is paying $633, so like $33 over for the year. So if they're paying over, they gotta be worth more than that.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I've been looking at that too, but the buyback prices and AppMix is my go-to site. To be honest with you, I was pretty big on Provident. I like Provident sets, but AppMix is the place to go, I guess, to buy it. And I love how quick their turnaround is. Their tracking's great. And I do like all their notifications. I mean, so I'm looking at it going, yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, if they're giving that much, things are worth pretty decent. I was amazed at how many slashing prices there are on the maples. I was getting 20-30% off on some of the last 5 years of their spot price. I'm paying, I'm saving probably when I buy all of them, I'm probably saving at least a piece or two in their slash prices. And you can't beat it right now. It really can't. I mean,
listen, I've never dealt with this company. It's called goldeneagle.com. Have you ever heard of them?
No, not enough time. Like you and me talked about Gold Eagles, but I never known that there was a company out there with them.
I'm going to try to do this screen share here. Bear with me. Let me see if I can figure this out. It's been a while. But yeah, somebody turned me onto this company and told me that
Here we go.
They said that this company pays the highest prices for certain things. And they gave me a price for 1 ounce bar of rhodium. I go, you're going to buy rhodium, but where can you sell rhodium? Can you see my screen? Can you see this Golden Eagle?
I'm able to see it now. Yes.
So up here where it says sell to us, if you click on that, they list their price, how much they're buying it for, and the lowest sell price that they have. They organize this pretty nice, and this is a pretty nice list that they display here. But I mean, I could not believe when somebody told me that this company was paying $21.35 for rhodium. I couldn't believe it. I called them. They verified it. I called Provident. They said, well, we really don't even want to buy it. And if we do, we're going to pay you $1,600 or $1,700 for it. So for a company like this to post these prices online,
$2,100.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a strong buy price. But I like these buy lists that companies put out because you can quickly check and and kind of get an idea what's going on. Let me see if I can go back.
So I'm relatively only 3 years into the game of actually precious metal collecting. I've been in coin collecting steady for 8 years. but actually the precious metal for about 3 years now. And the only thing I sell is things that I know that I can get slightly more than I paid for them, or if I got them for a good deal. And the thing is, I'm just not in the mood to part with things. But then at the same time, I mean, depending what I got it for, if I got it for a bargain, I mean, there's times I get 1/10 ounce pieces of silver for $1, and I can't help but to sell those to people for a couple bucks more. I mean, that doesn't bother me whatsoever. I mean, a buddy of mine gives me for $1 when he comes across them. You don't want them.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, who everybody wants to buy it at a deal. You know, you buy it with the idea that it's worth more, or you can make money on it, or it's going to go up in value, and that's typically what people buy. I mean, oftentimes I'll overpay.
Hmm.
I posted a video on my personal YouTube channel where I overpaid. I overpaid for half-ounce rounds. They're just half-ounce rounds, and they're in some like off-brand slab holder you've never even heard of. I overpaid. You know, it's like 38 bucks in silver. I paid 45. But I'm like, man, I think I can make money on them. They are basically copies of the silver commemoratives, the classical silver commemoratives. They're gorgeous. So I mean, people, you know, why did I buy it? Why did I overpay? Because I think they're worth more.
Well, the thing is, we do that with a lot of things, and again, the the risk factor, the profit margin. What are we going to make in it? And to be honest with you, if we just bought and sat, or were just purely buy and resell, it wouldn't be fun. What's fun is wait. How long do we come across it? When we're cruising a site tonight, do we see something different? I mean, that's the fun part of it. I mean, just today, I just sat there and picked up something offline that wasn't a coin, and I was looking for the right price, and I couldn't believe I got free shipping and all this stuff on it. And I'm like, okay, hey, you know what? If that's how it's going to be, but I truly think that that's the part of the fun of things is every day you don't know what it's going to be. Am I going to
Yeah.
sell? Am I going to find a deal today?
I wanted to just kind of reference this website, the AppMex website, where they have the sell to us, and then they list top products we buy. Now with AppMex, you got to have a certain amount that you're selling to them. And believe it or not, I called them when they had silver pandas for sale. They were selling, not pandas, I'm sorry, the silver swans from Perthman. And if you check AppMex right now, they are sold out. And I don't know if you've been following the price, but the price has gone up from like $20, $30, $40. Last time I checked, it was $65. And now they're sold out. Well, I called them and I said, hey, you have a please call. Look at now, if you looked at Golden Eagle when I showed you, they listed their prices.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's
Yeah,
please
please.
call, please call, please call. And when you call them about some of this stuff, they don't, I asked, they're selling the swans for 65 bucks, and they offered me 16. I mean, that is quite a markup, quite a markup.
So basically, we're calling them Littleton Coin Company.
No, and let's not do that. I definitely understand they have to make money,
But
but
wow.
see that's the thing. If AppMex is listing buy it now price, it's good. I'm trying to see if they are listing rhodium. I don't see it. I see palladium, platinum.
What's funny is when I started getting in this 3 years ago, right around middle of the 2015 year, every site, JM Bullion, AppMex, there was so many things that I could find that were non-gold, silver, items, platinum, rhodium, copper, even your other non-exotic, your non-precious metal, but your exotic ones like titanium and stuff. I was buying little stuff like that. Now you don't even find that on anybody's website. The Amagji metals. I mean, all these places don't have anything anymore, and just within 2 years, it just disappeared, gone, and you haven't seen it back at all. And I'm just like, wow, it's just amazing how quick either people get wind of it, or it becomes popular, or people are investing because they think it's going to be something different. I mean, to be honest with you, one of my favorite things that I got in my collection is a 1 pound bar of titanium.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's the most cool looking metal that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, and I bought it for like $28, and a pound of titanium now, I think if you can find it, it's gonna be like $40. So I'm going, hey, but I don't want to sell because it's such a cool thing that you can't. When's the last time you've seen titanium that much in a solid bullion bar?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Hey, it's like yeah, you could use that for a lot of different things, like a paperweight or, just a conversation piece. But I mean, I don't know anybody who has one. Providence sells them.
Yeah, I mean they sell them, but they're gone. I mean everything is like all a couple ounce pieces or three. They sell spheres and stuff, but this was just a slab bar. And yeah, I mean, but like I said, when I got into it, how many years ago, there's nothing. Everything has just gotten bought up, or people are sitting on it, or if it lands on the sites now, they're gone real quick. I mean, it's just funny, and it seems like every time I jump to a new thing to buy, that's the thing that disappears faster. I notice. Because like right now, the thing that I'm going to start cruising for are Barber $half.
Speaking of
Average
Barber
shape.
$half, I got one right here in front of me. If I were to give you a date, would you automatically know if it's a good date or not?
Not off the top of my head. I haven't researched this enough yet, but
This is, I mean, just looking at that coin right there, what condition would you say that's in?
better than the one I got. Consider I don't even get the braids or anything on the hair.
Yeah, this, what you're looking for is you want to see the edge, and sometimes the edge right here won't
Mhm.
even come through all the way. So if the majority of the edge and the rib, excuse me, the majority of the rim is there, it would be a good, but it's about good if that rim you can't even see. This is an O mint mark. I mean, you're
See,
not going
that's
to be
my.
able to see
I,
that.
I was gonna say that's I have an O at home here. That's in
Yeah.
worse shape than that.
1895 O. I don't think it's a good date.
Mine's a
I'll check my
19.
price guide.
Mine's a 19090.
Did you see these? These just came out.
Yep, I was looking at that. I saw that on your last video.
Yeah. $half.
Matter of fact, everybody stand by. I'm gonna go get something real quick.
All right. I'll take a look at see if I can get a price on this. 1895 O in good. The CPG price is 39. Let's just take a look at gray sheet price and compare how far apart gray sheet is with CPG. 1895 O Barber half, 1895 O in good. It comes in at 32. I mean, it's just one of those dates that is low mintage you don't come across all the time. So yeah, and a lot of times it's just a filler in a book. But I've got this copper coin probably won't come through. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. The date by my thumb, the first two digits is 17, so it's 1700. And on the reverse, it says 1 cent. 1 cent. And it's one of these old colonial coins. I still haven't figured it out. I looked at Red Book and I couldn't find it. It's one of those things where you're like, I'll find it one day, and you just put it off to the side.
And then all of a sudden, since we're doing the show and tell thing, and what we just got them talking about, as soon as they get it off the ground. And if you guys can see this. One of the old occupational. This one says Deutschland Funzig half. Yeah, 1/2 mark, 1944. And then I got another one that's 5 Deutschmarks with a pink. I don't know if you guys can see the pink. Again, to be honest with you, I don't know if you guys see the distance. These things are actually in really good shape considering what they were and how small they were. I mean, sentimental value is through the roof for these for me. The value for me is more of hold forever. But then I got 2 identical ones. These are literally crisp. There's 2, and then you got the French occupational.
Ooh, that flag, that coloring, that looks really good.
I mean, that is, I mean, honestly, it is bright. And this is Series DE 1944. And then here's another one. This one's in worse shape. This one's actually really beat up, but the color is still.
It's still got good color. You know, when you're talking about paper money, and when I'm like, what is the eye appeal when you talk about paper money? It's the white in the paper, but it's a little bit tough to see the white because of that bright light behind you. You kind of,
I'm gonna see if I can kill that light.
But it's still, you can still see it. It looks really nice.
See if there's because honestly, I'm not lying to you. I don't have any. I mean, this might be better.
Yeah, it definitely changes. It's definitely white.
That paper is very. I mean, this is the really good one. I mean, the edges are for if we're getting passed around. My mom had her in her safety deposit box and just gave it to me one day.
Yeah.
And not get destroyed is absolutely astonishing to me. And then here you guys go. The most fun, just don't drop it on my keyboard. Slab of titanium.
Now, it's hilarious. I'm thinking
1 pound, but that is very, very, very light for being that thick.
Yeah, it just tricks with your brain because you're used to holding silver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's very light.
I mean, a pound is a pound is a pound, but when you look at it, it's metal. You want to put it in your hand, you're like, whoa.
You pick it up and it just spread out so much. I mean, that's why I like the little 1 ounce pieces of different metals, all the way from silver, gold. You know, that's the cool thing is if I was ever going to play a game with my son for density, here's an ounce of lead, here's an ounce, and it just shows you the size increase. I mean, there's ones of that titanium. I have an ounce of titanium one that is very large. It is almost the size of an iPhone screen, and it's paper thin. But then you get an ounce of, silver, how much smaller it is. It shows you the chemistry part behind the money, or I'm sorry, the precious metals. But since we're talking about money, does anybody have any comments out there about the new designs that are coming out that are sort of stalled out right now? And with the Bureau of Engraving, the Harriet Tubman 20, and what else? The back of the was it the $5 bill? I think with the people that speak on it. I mean, there's a lot of opinions out there. I'm actually happy they're redesigning it. It's time for a change. It's something new. But I know there's people out there that don't want to mess with our money still. So, anybody have any comments on that?
Well, my comment is, so many countries try to fake our money. And there's so many different, security features that we've done to keep it, to be not faked. Do you think we would move to a polymer like Canada or these other countries?
Well, if you look at the new $100 bill, it's almost gotten to that point. I mean, how everything is now interwoven. I mean, you got the Liberty Bell that's raised. You got the different colors. You got that. You still got the ribbon below. That's the black light ribbon. But there's so much on the new $100 bill that, I mean, it almost looks like we're headed that way. I mean, to the plastic style money. And to be honest with you, it's sad because how do I say it? You still have the art value, but you're losing the art value, and it's becoming more of a, um, I don't know, like it's almost like a secret message money now. Where in the past you had micro printing, I know, but an old $20 bill to me, the old 20s from the 1990s and before, are fun because they're artistic, and that's what I'm afraid that you're losing the artistic value and you're getting more technology value. I mean, except for the $1 bill. Good old George Washington, I guess, ain't changing anytime soon. So, I mean, I'm looking at a couple specimens now of my $2 bills, and it, I'm surprised the $2 bill hasn't come into play more in this country, actually, for everyday currency. I was talking to my kids I teach with. I said, why haven't we started using it, considering $2 is a very common amount now? I don't get it. I wonder if anybody has any ideas. I mean, to be honest with you.
Canada's got success. They got rid of the $1. They got the loonie. They got the toonie, and it works there. It just Americans don't want to change.
We're stubborn. We're very stubborn. And look, and we're one of the few countries that still has the penny. Look, would they end the penny in 2012? Canada, and they figured out a way to do it. So they got rid of their paper money. They've got the loonie, the toonie. They ended the penny, going to polymer money. Their stuff's made out of steel, stainless steel for the most part. And might as well talk about that. Do you think we should start pulling nickel? Since how expensive nickel is compared to other possible metals that we can do. I mean, look at the price of a nickel, 8-9 cents to make one nickel. People complain about the penny, but look at the nickel. I mean, that one, if you're looking at the value of a coin, that's ridiculous. I mean, a dime is your best bet. A quarter is good. But everybody goes, oh, it costs almost 2 pennies to make a penny. It almost costs 2 nickels to make a nickel. That's even worse. So do we switch our metal content? I mean, what are we going to do? I mean,
do you see Mr. Monkey Swag has a question for us? He's talking about do we think, or what do we think about the United States using bimetallic coins like Canada and Mexico?
You know what? Again, I'm all for it. I don't know why we won't do it. I think we should go to it. I mean, it would be sad because it would be an end of an era, but let's be honest with you. If you're looking at saving the country money, it makes logical sense. The problem is now you get into the other economic swing of it. You're going to start hurting mine companies and your transportation companies of the metals that you'll start eliminating. So now you got that pushback. But at the same time, I guess it's business. We can't worry about hurting other people.
There's the huge industry of the pop machines, the snack machines, where you put your change in. I mean, I learned that is some big industry. And if you want to make a ripple effect, trying to design that new coin for it to fit in that machine, good luck. That is tough. So if the United States is going to develop an issue for general circulation, a bimetallic coin, man, I forget the official name of that organization. They have to approve, and then they have to redesign all of their machines.
This has been going on before you and me were born, because this was the conversation back with the Ike. This was the conversation heavily with the Susan B. Anthony. I mean, come on, 1980, they were having this discussion. If they had YouTube back then, there'd have been guys like you and me talking about this in 1980. They had to approve that size coin. They had to make sure it was going to be accepted. And I sort of chuckled because had they had the vision that they had in 98, 99, when they started designing the Native American dollar, to make the Susan B. Anthony with the manganese golden color, You imagine that, you wouldn't have had the Native American dollar, but Susan B. Anthony would have been maybe more popular, considering it would have had that different tone, and people maybe would have used it and not confused it with a quarter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
I,
think that's the number one reason people did not like it, because
it,
it looked so similar to that quarter. Yeah.
I do a test all the time with my kids every year when I go over finances and money, and I take a handful of money out of my pocket and I quickly throw it on a table in front of them. I throw a Susan B. Anthony and they don't know it. And I said, okay, pull out the dollar. And they go, and they're looking like, where? I mean, especially now that we got 50 designs of quarters and all that, or I'm sorry, correction. We had the 50 plus. Now we have we're almost to the end of the nation, to the America the Beautiful series. So look how many different designs of quarters are out there, and you throw it in a dollar coin that looks very close to it. It's Where's Waldo? It's a good exercise for Ben and Cole. I mean, it's sad. I mean, and no one had thought that back then. And is it lack of thinking, or was it just, I understood they just wanted to shrink the coin down after making the Ike so large. I like reading articles about how Ikes were so treasured in Vegas for slot machines. They absolutely loved them. I feel sorry for the guys that had to unload those machines and lug that money around.
Hey, Mike, are there any coins coming out of the U.S. Mint that you've got your eye on? And I'm actually going to go to the U.S. Mint's website now.
I haven't looked to see if there's anything. I'm going to do the same thing you're doing.
Basically, there's a, let's go to it now. Last year was the first year they came out with this palladium, 1 ounce palladium coin. And man, did it take off. And it's basically that mercury dime obverse, and on the reverse, it's the Walker, $50. I mean, just a gorgeous coin. I think I mean, don't get me wrong, I like both designs, but for me, man, that eagle, and this is an ultra, is it high relief or ultra high relief? I'm not sure. Check out that mintage limit, 15,000, household order limit 1, and it comes out on September 6th. I mean, it's not a cheap coin, but with palladium prices so low, this might be a diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? Buying a couple of these, it's you're going to have to take some money out of your kids' college fund, send them to NGC PCGS, get them slabbed, slap them on eBay, and move on to the next one. But
Wow.
these are proofs. And I'll be honest with you, I think this is going to be a hot item. I really do. This is only the second year the United States Mint is coming out with a palladium coin.
And I'm looking at this now that palladium as we speak, as of tonight, 938.50. And let's go to our trusty chart here. Let's go 5 years. Because this is just tell people to think about it this way. Palladium being $938 right now. We were over $1,000 a couple months ago. And back in 16, it was about $490, $480 So it's a metal that's growing. So think about it. Is that a sign that the United States Mint's telling us something, that this is a metal that they're actually interested in, considering the boom? Is it, if they're putting that much effort into doing that, considering platinum on the other side is, going from its all-time highs down to 778. Oh my Lord. Wow. It's going where it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That is, I'm looking at that, and that's going back to when that price of platinum right now is where it was when gold was $380 an ounce. I mean, that is insane. Wow. Not a good market for platinum eagles. I
Platinum,
mean,
platinum is probably a better buy than palladium right now, but I don't know. I think that palladium coin
it's a
is
beauty.
I mean, number one, it's got the eye appeal. Number two, 15,000 low mintage. I mean, if it's a modern coin, are there 15,000 people out there that are going to buy that? I really do think that'll sell out.
Oh,
And
I mean,
there was a lot of people who bought last year's, a lot of people who bought last year's, and I think you're going to see a lot of people sending it in right away, slabbing it, and selling it on eBay.
you know what? Now I'm sitting there looking at that going, that would be one hell of an interesting coin to buy for the kids. And with the Mercury head on it, man, that's a beauty. And that's a big solid coin. You know what I like? I like the silver box too. Something different.
You know what? There was a couple years back when the ultra high relief gold commemorative coin came out. The mint director at the time was Moy,
Hmm.
Edmund C. Moy, and I remember like the mint director was going to a coin show, and he was going to bring this coin just so people can touch it, and it was like people were waiting in line just to touch it, because oftentimes with these ultra high relief coins, they're you want to touch it but you don't want to depreciate the value, right? So
I mean,
I'll be honest with you, I would like to touch that coin. I mean, as silly as it sounds.
just you know what, the tangibleness of it, just to feel, I mean, come on, we've all done that. I mean, how many of us, when we get our new Eagles, we touch the rim and we're just, we put it, some of us put clothes on, some of us don't, depending on the day, but let's be honest with you, to hold that and actually feel what that is something awesome. I mean, there's times that I sit there and I look at, I look at my pieces, my grams of gold, and I just want to take them out of their case, crack the package open and bend it in half just to see how soft it truly is. I've been hearing about this my
Oh
whole life. Can I
man,
bend this and mush it all up?
Scrooge McDuck is going swimming here.
Yeah, I mean, I still think of that cartoon. I still think I'm like, man.
What country is it that recently put out a coin with him on there? I'll be honest with you, I didn't buy it. I was like, man, that's a pretty cool design.
You know what? I mean, any Disney thing. John, I bought half-ounce pieces from you a while ago. But, was it was it Grumpy? I think a couple.
Yeah. And dude,
Yeah,
the premiums on that Disney stuff is there. It's there.
yeah. I mean, Disney is. I mean, Disney, and then I've seen other things like. Here's one for you: superhero stuff. Holy smoke! Batman, Superman stuff. You slap their emblem on it with some color and off and going. I saw a comment up here earlier. Mr. Monkey Swag. What do you guys think about the presidential medal series? And I'm assuming he's talking about the wives' medals, the first ladies, if I'm not mistaken, or are we talking the actual presidential medal coins? Because I was looking at the first lady coins. I love them, by the way.
Well, let's pretend he's talking about the first wives, those gold
They're
pieces.
they're beautiful. And
Dude, the some of them are replicas of the classical American coinage, the draped bust. I mean, just unbelievable. The proof, the BU, and you can get them for peanuts over spot price. Original box and papers.
Mhm.
I'm, I'm telling you that to me, that's some of the keys out of that series.
I mean, when they did that and they said they were going to release the wives in a 1 ounce piece of gold, I'm like, are you kidding me? These are unobtainable for most people, but they're, you know what? I would love to see them do that. I mean, I know we all got the presidential dollar coins. Every one of us got this pretty much a set of those. I would like to see them do a first wives coin like the presidential dollar. Why not? I know we have them in the dollar, the big giant, 1 ounce pieces of gold. Put them in a regular dollar bill or a dollar coin. I'm sorry, misspoke. It'd be something cool. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm sort of sad that the presidential series ended. Until the next presidents pass away. It's a great program. Speaking of which, I'm sure you saw that John McCain passed away today. Do they do a commemorative coin for him? I wouldn't be surprised. It's a possibility.
Well, hey, Mike, take a look at this. Mr. Monkey Swag is talking about the presidential medals. So I'm going to screen share once again.
Okay,
and
I
go
see
to
it.
the
Yep.
US website. And here we go. Take a look at this. Under shop, medals, presidential medals. And when you pull that up, George Washington silver medal, John Adams. And believe it or not, I think I saw an article about this. It's 1 troy ounce of silver, $40. Here's the box and papers it comes with. Don't get me wrong, I do like it. I just, man, every time I see something like this come out of the mint, I cringe because I don't know. It just, the retail market, the resale market hold that price? Look at these proof silver eagles drop price, man. And I mean, yes, it's new, it's hot. I don't know.
Who's going to care about it in a couple of years?
Mintage. Take a look at the mintage. No limit. Product limit, none. And when they put none, nobody cares about it. And then since nobody cares about it, the actual mintage is like 4,000. You know what I mean?
And here's my thing: they don't put a limit. They don't do anything like that. And you're selling for $40 for an ounce. So let's say, okay, ready? Let's play a game here. Let's say your wish and my wish comes true. Silver goes up to $40 an ounce. Is someone going to give you $70, $80 for that coin based on the ratio that we're paying now? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think that is a modern bullion piece. It's scrap. And you know what? Here's what would happen. Take that, buy it today, take that to any coin shop, pawn shop, jewelry shop across the country that doesn't know that came out. They're going to look at it. They're going to say, I don't know. My internet is down right now. How am I going to verify it? Let me scratch it. They're going to scratch it, test it with acid, and say, yep, it's an ounce of silver. Throw it in their junk bin, sell it, send it to the smelter.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you'll be wrong. Maybe in 20 years these things will, they'll run them for a couple of years, and all of a sudden you won't be able to touch them. But like you said, I just get a little leery because it's a custom piece. You have to find a custom buyer for that. I mean, I love it because it's presidential. It's great. I love president stuff. That's probably the one part of history growing up that was so easy because it was linear. But not everybody is a collector of the presidents. I mean, come on. So that's what scares me about some commemoratives at times. Commemoratives scare me because you have to find somebody that's interested in that particular commemorative, the disabled veteran ones and all that. And, you're paying a premium for something that you're hoping to find the right buyer for. I mean, and that's why when I jump to the next thing after I get done with these, okay, here, I'll ask everybody out there, suggestions from everybody that's watching tonight. What should be my next jump piece? I mean, I'm going to complete my.
What should be your next what? You broke up.
My next, the next set that I jumped to collecting. Now that I'm going to knock off the maples in another month or so, because I only literally have one more coin to find if it's ever in stock.
So wait a minute. Let's back up. You have a complete set of maples, or you will.
Yes, one short.
Do you have a complete set of Eagles, American Eagles?
Yes, proof and bonk.
Eagles, check. Maples, check.
Check.
What about south of the border? Libertads?
I haven't got into those yet, so that's a possibility. So I'm looking at suggestions. There's Libertads. I was thinking even, going all the way down to Perth, let's see what Australia has. But I'm looking for suggestions, what people would say that I should jump into next. My next set of good quality. I'm not going to say I'm avoiding commemoratives. I'm not a commemorative guy. So what's the next thing? Should it be Libertad? Should it be Britannias? I mean, seeing what people are going to suggest, because maybe you guys will sway me into going in the next category here, part 3 of my sets, or part 4 if you count the proof of the Eagles that I had to deal with.
Now, here would be my suggestion, is to not focus on pandas, but to just quasi start one, because anytime you come across one and you can make sure it's real, sock it away. And if you go out and try to buy a complete set right away, you're gonna pay for it. But just put that on the low priority list. That would be
I
my
got the year my son was born. I got the first one. I got the year that he was born, 15, and I took that one. And I first thing I thought of when I bought it, I'm like, all right, I got one panda, and I'm like, do I jump into this one? And every time I get ready to, the only thing that scares me is it real or not? That does come at me. So it's just an interesting thing to look at. Do I take that risk because if it is real or not?
But I hear you.
But if I'm buying from AppMex or something, I'm assuming they verify, their purchasers. But even then.
So your question is out there: what new silver 1 ounce? Is it 1 ounce, or can it be 2 ounce? 5 ounce?
Preferably 1 ounce. My 5-ounce collections are just standard bullion bars and the Native American rounds. I'm not into the big heavy. That's just standard, silver stacking. But I'm looking at 1 ounce, can be proof or unk, but if it's going to be, it's going to be the complete set of either one of those. I don't like.
Well, my strong opinion is pandas, Libertads, and then anything Perth. Perth mint. If you're going to get into lunars, that's a whole thing there. But my 2 strong opinions: Mexico and China.
Oh, we got pandas popping up all over the place. Silver leprechaun. They're showing me 3 pandas. Is that how many I should collect? Just 3. It's like I said, it's always fun to switch to the next thing. And I was amazed how quick I went on the maples. I went from 0 to 60 on the accelerator on those real quick. I mean, deals were popping up online. I was getting them for slash prices. The only one that I'm missing, like I said, is 04. There's no high price on it, just out of stock everywhere I look.
So there's a question Keystone Stacker asked me about if I watched Mr. Monkey's video regarding proof like Morgans. And I had a video on proof like Morgans, and he says, it's amazing to me that after over 100 years, these coins have mirrored surfaces. Well, let me tell you, the mirrored surfaces, actually, you can see the imperfections even more. So, people in the video that I put out that did not choose the 64, and they did choose the 65, and the one comment was from Mateo, man. He says, the bag marks they're simplified, which I totally agree. But it's a little bit more rare of a coin. And yes, I saw Mr. Monkey Swag's video on the proof. Like, I personally, I always like to look for that extra qualifier. You know what I mean? Because we're hitting that trifecta. That's I'm still hung up on that trifecta, man.
It is amazing that we have things that are out there that are that high quality from over 100 years ago, back in a time where people didn't even have the collecting mentalities that we have nowadays. I mean, things were so disposable back then. They didn't think of it. I'll say this when we're 100 years from now. I would love to know, in history standpoint, when did all of a sudden things like that become fun to save? You know, you're talking depression years. Do you really think people were looking on, this will be worth a lot of money in 100 years? They were looking for food and water. I mean, to have a steady, diet. So my thing is, when I come across a coin that's that old and that nice a shape, it is really got to be probably one of the rarest things to see. I mean, yeah, I mean, we can all get a set of Morgans. Can you get ones that are in awesome shape? Wow. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely
considering they were
takes.
used for money, they were
Yeah,
literally used for currency. It's not like today's dollar coin that just gets thrown in a vault somewhere. I mean, it's a really an interesting, you know, I there's times I wish I can put a microchip on coins, or like how you those dollar bills, log on, see where I've been. I would love to
little
see where these things
where's
go.
George or
Yeah,
followgeorge.com, like that.
I mean, I tell the kids I teach, I said, we're talking about the length, the longevity of dollar bills and $5 bills, and I try to explain why you come across beat up $1 bills, but you don't come across beat up five, tens, and twenties. And I told them, I said, think about it. How long does it take for that $1 bill to get back into a bank and actually be processed and sent downtown to the Federal Reserve to be either taken out of circulation or not? It can be passed around before that happens. But $20 bills every week are getting deposited, taken down to the Fed, looked at. I mean, the E-Rock Center in New Jersey, they shred more how much money every day. They're shredding thousands and thousands of bills, but how much of that's $1 bills because they never get back to them. So I would love to see the longevity of that. I mean, it's just amazing to still that how these $1 coins of these Morgans and these peace dollars are still floating around in that good a shape. It's very interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
who would have thought some of these 1909 pennies go over? I mean, it's just amazing on that because someone had the wherewithal to sock these things in a drawer and take care of them, not just save them, but take care of them. Amazing. I will tell you what we're doing tonight with this, technology has made in many ways, I think, coin collecting uh, explode. I could not imagine being a coin collector prior to the internet days. It'd have been a living hell.
Dude, there was
It'd
a
been a living
video
hell.
put out by CDN Publishing, the people who make the gray sheet,
Mhm.
and I put like a 1 minute video saying, "Hey, if you collect coins, watch this video." In that video, uh, Scott Travers, he's an author. He's a big player in numismatics. He says coin shows are basically a feel good. You go to a coin show, you talk to other people, you share your buys. You might sell something, you might buy something, but it's designed to be a feel good atmosphere. And you just get pumped up, pumped up. You go back home, and then you do all your buying online. So the coin show, the purpose of the coin show is now changing. It's a feel good to add life into the hobby, which I think is not a bad idea.
Well, you don't want. I mean, I see what you're saying. Well, we've done that. I tell the kids this too when I teach them. Toys R Us, how I went out of business. I explain them that Toys R Us is nothing more than a reference tool for me for the last how many years. Go into Toys R Us, look for stuff for my son. Go, oh, that's cool. Look at the price. Go, nope. Go home, buy it online. It was basically giving way to me going home and sitting down on a computer and saying, let me buy it here, like you just said with the coins. It's getting you out there. It's seeing what's out there. Maybe there's like something you came across and you're like, I'm not going to buy it here. I'll go home and buy it. I'll sit down and think about it. I mean, imagine when we were kids, John, if our parents took us to a coin show, if we didn't buy that special, V nickel at that moment, we may never see it anytime soon, anytime again. Now,
Yeah, that's a
go
good point.
online,
That's a very good point.
go online and oh, I'll see it later tonight. whether it be come from this country, another country. I'll get it tonight. I'll get it tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I'm looking for an '04, Maple. Okay, let's go back to 2004 even. Let's go back 14 years. The internet was strong, but think about that. It wasn't as in your face as today. I mean, the hunt back then was truly a hunt. I mean, you were hunting blind. You were hunting with magazines. You were hunting with phone calls, hoping to God you were the first one to make a phone call and the product was still available. Oh, try back later. We'll send you a notification when it's back in stock. Whoop, we buy it. I mean, it's in many ways, it's actually doing us a favor, making us spend more, but at the same time, it's sort of losing the hard. It's not as hard then. So I don't know. I give credit to our fathers, our grandfathers, and uncles who did this in the hard way. They're the real.
They had to go to the library and use the Dewey Decimal System.
They're truly the real collectors, man. I mean, it's seriously. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that my phone doesn't look at the silver price. I mean, when did they get it? In the newspaper. They had to wait till the morning. They had to wait till the evening news. What it closed at. They don't even run it at times on the local news anymore like they used to. Remember, they'd always do that evening news. The stock market close. They don't say that. They barely say it. You figure you can look at it. So I think you're right. I think the coin show gives you reassurance that there's other people doing what we're doing. And it justifies our hobby. It justifies why we do the things we do.
Exactly. You want to go out, you want to share your buys. You want people to say, "Wow, that's a great deal. Oh, let me look at it," and other people to drool over it, and just to get that reassurance. You're absolutely right, and that's another good reason to be a member of a coin club. I think
I
everybody's
was just going to say that.
Yeah, people are bidding on the same item. The new list is out, and I was reviewing the list, and I got check marks all over the place. I'm like, man, I'm going to take a look. We've got the first three lots, 81, 82, 83, Carson City, Morgan dollars in the GSA holder. Opening bid is $150. Dude, when can you buy these for $150? Usually they were $180. Other dealers were buying them. Now I think it might be about the same now, but it's a little soft now. But I take that back. But opening bid $150, I'm all over that.
Well, that's the thing, and I've noticed, and if you guys are out there, if you're members of our club, you guys are aware what's going on. But if not, September is an off month for us. It seems like it is a month that we sort of go into, we're getting ready for the Halloween auction, which we get a little higher bidding. November, we, go back to normal. And then, our big one in December there were proof and uncirculated coins, the rare ones. But this auction, I looked at it. I mean, last auction was light. This one, I'm not lying to you. I highlights all over the place on this one. And granted, I mean, it depends on my mood at that moment. And yeah, John, you may have a free reign there because I'm not going to be there for the first part of it. So that those first 40, 50 items, if you're not, you're going to be auctioning your own items up on there when you're saying going once, going twice. It's sold to me again.
There's a lot of
time.
silver. Silver, the reserve price is 10 times face. A lot.
Yeah, I mean,
8 times face. There's a roll in here I saw for $80 reserve. It's not going to go for $80.
Yeah.
But 8 times face some of these reserve prices because you want to capture a little bit more of the audience. Everybody wants to think, hey, I can get a good deal here.
Mm-hmm.
You raise your hand, you bid, and then you get a little bit more excitement on there,
Yeah, and then you know what? People start going, I go for $1 or $2 more. That's fine. I mean, this is a very good auction. And I have to thank, our president. I have to thank the members because let's be honest with you, they're the ones driving these auctions. We can have, I mean, what do we used to hover around when I first got in there somewhere around 10 items. And now the last, how many auctions have been over 130, 140, 150, items. I mean, it's been a very good time the last couple of months because we have so much to look for. And to be honest with you, It's one of my favorite times of the year, a month, is when that sheet comes out. I see it in my email. It's in that sheet. Boom, open it up, and I literally am a kid, and I take a ruler. And this is funny, guys. Everybody out there that has our club, maybe they do it, maybe they don't. I take a ruler and I close off all the other items, and I literally go one by one and look at the next one that pops up above the ruler, because I don't want to start glancing down. I just want to go, ooh, that one, and then it's even more fun. It's like a new thing every month. Like, ooh, you know,
Yeah, man. You gotta
it's
enjoy it, and that's what it's all about, is enjoying it.
and you
Absolutely.
know, and the thing is, it's literally, you never know. I mean, yeah, we have our standard holdovers of 100 foreign coin bags. Thank you, Al, and everybody else that puts those in there. But you know what? I mean, it's for those of you that are not a member of a club. Thankfully, John and I are lucky enough to have one right by us that we're in. Um, and that's how John and I met. Was one day, it was John sold me silver 3 years ago, by hook or by crook. I was bidding on something. Next thing you know, boom. Now it's been a monthly text, email, call, talk, visit. It's amazing what happens out there. So, guys, if you're in a club, form friendships, form relationships. It's time. It's you don't have to buy anything. I mean, ours is mostly an auction based, but you don't have to buy anything. We got people that are just wallflowers. They just come to enjoy it.
A
And
lot
to
of
be honest
people
with
just
you,
come to sell. They collect their
yeah.
check and
Mm.
get
I
a
mean,
donut coffee.
it's an easy way to sell. You got 60, 70 people. It's an easy way to sell. It costs you 25 cents. You know, it doesn't matter the cost of your item. And to be honest with you, it's a good club. It's 3 hours. You know, the doors open at 6, close at 9. It's 3 hours once a month of people. You know, I know we had some hardships lately too. That's another sad thing too. I mean, people. God bless. Ron up there in heaven now. And I still think that it's weird that he's gone. But it's a very good time, guys. So if you're interested in our club, great. If you're around another club, go visit. I visited a couple one by me out here. The one Moose Club one that we've gone to a couple times with some of our members. It has nothing on ours. I'm not going to sit there and you know lie, but it's still a good time. It's amazing what you see
Hey,
out there.
hey. We got a comment here. Keystone Stacker says, I wish I was close to Garfield Heights. Not much here in Central PA. Let's take a look what's in Central PA.
Where's he at in Central PA? Are you talking beyond Uniontown? Are we north, like Oil City Central? Are we Uniontown Central? Um, because are we or deep, like in the Turnpike area where there's no one out there?
I don't know if I'm gonna screen share here in a second. Let's see give me a zip code, give me a city or something to go with here, Keystone, because I'm gonna try to find something for you. Silver Leprechaun, give me a zip
Tallahassee.
code or a
Oh,
neighboring.
okay. He's okay. Keystone's out there in Happy Valley area. So oh man, my wife would be happy out there. Boy, that's her area she'd love to go to. So he's out there by Penn. Okay.
All right, Mike,
Yeah.
I'm gonna screen share and tell me what these people are talking here. I want to show you straight to coinzip.com.
Mm-hmm.
Go to coin clubs. You can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Coin clubs. And you just go here. So what do you think the zip code is where he lives in PA? It's got to be like 15 something, no?
1516 State College, I think. Was it? We got Silver Leprechaun telling us down in Florida 3230 or 32303. That's Tallahassee's
32303. Okay, let's
That's
do
in
100
Tallahassee.
miles. 100 miles. And Tri-States Coin Club.
Alabama, it looks like, huh?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So that is kind of far. But see, and that's the thing. Like I'm trying to get other clubs to join these because I know there's a lot of there's got to be clubs out there.
You know what? And our club was formed, what, 48, 49? It's been
I want to
around.
say 42, 44.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. And I was actually happy. We had a new lifetime member last week, and he's only a couple years older than us. And he joined up for life. He's permanently settling in the area. And I was very happy as I'm going, all right, there's a couple of us that, in 20 years, we'll be the guys, I guess, that'll be footing the club on that one.
Yeah. Do you see the screen? Do you see all these cities in PA? Do you think anything is near what you're talking about?
Okay, where I'm looking here, I'm pretty familiar with some of this. Meadville is extreme western PA. It's on the border almost. Bethel Park, I'm not familiar with that. That's 724. That's Mercer County, not Mercer County. That's where I went to college out there, north of Sharon. Johnstown is out by Uniontown. Pittsburgh, yes. I'm looking on there. Not anything up. I'm trying to think. Indiana, PA. That one's a little. I'm trying to think where that one's at.
But who wants to drive 100 miles? I just put 100 miles here.
Once a month. I mean,
yeah.
If you go state college, to be honest, just type in. I'd say, John, if you're on Google, just type in Penn State.
Oh, this is near Philadelphia, University of Philadelphia.
Is that right there?
Yeah.
Because Penn State is in Happy Valley. Penn State's not easy to get to from.
So it's south of Punxsutawney.
Oh, okay, he just said Keystone said Indiana, PA is the closest. It's an hour away.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's. Oh boy. Well, Keystone, to be honest with you, keep watching us, and maybe we can get you some. You become friends enough, you can go on our website. You can see our list there. I mean, you can see what we have to offer. So, but yeah, I mean, I never thought about that. You're in an area that maybe there's not a lot of people, or there's not enough interest to form a club. Then again, hey, Keystone, you can be the president, treasurer, and secretary, and start it. I mean, and here, I'll ask this one: Keystone, is there any coin shops that you have in your area at all, or is it just, you have to go far for those too? I mean, I know John and I are blessed with driving 5 minutes. We can come across one every 2 times.
And that's the thing. It'll keep the prices down, but I imagine if there are not a lot of coin shops, then the shops probably the prices are going to be a little higher. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks. I see Keystone Stacker sat there and said, "We're his club." So, hey, we're here for you, man. I mean, we're hundreds of miles away from you, and we're glad to help you or talk. And at least you have some type of networking going on. That's what it's all about. We're all in the same hobby together, to be honest with you. I mean, there's no.
Hey, Mike, I hate to interrupt, but we've been on for about an hour. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
To be honest with you, I'm pretty good. I'm just happy that we're starting to get more people to start commenting. We got a lot more comments flowing in tonight. Saturday night's better than a weeknight looks like. Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell everybody that's on our site tonight, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the interest. And, hey, this is starting to become more fun and more easy as we do. It's third time we're doing this together. It's entertaining, a couple topics come up. So, I mean, otherwise, the only thing I would say, if anybody went out there tonight, to sit there and tell us how often they want to see us, if we have to do this every Saturday night or something. Whatever.
I think we got to prepare a little bit more. I was sending you a text. You're like, my son,
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. I think we got to start creating our list here. Great. So I'm doing lesson plans for the coin club now. Great. Oh boy. Oh, geez.
Yeah, I think we could do that. That's definitely doable. I'm trying to put out videos for both the club, my personal channel. You have a family, I have a family,
Mhm.
work, and just life in general. It's tough.
Believe me, I'm like I said, those of you out there, I'm a teacher. I just started last week, so it's full tilt. Here we go. This isn't the summertime when I can stay up till 4 a.m. So, but everybody out there, I mean, I'm glad you guys are watching. Thanks for the comments. The comments come in more and more. And John and I'll have to sit down. John, you and me are going to start talking some more and come up with some more ideas, start planning a little further out. So, but thanks, no problem, Silver Leprechaun. It's a pleasure. So, hey, that's what we're here for. So, we'll go from there. So,
Okay, Silver Leprechaun changed.
Keystone, you teach fifth grade. No.
Carl, what's up, Carl?
So Keystone, you're a fifth grade teacher, I see. So you don't go back till Wednesday. I envy you. My wife's been back for 2 weeks already. I've been back for a week. You're lucky. PA's got it going on. They know what to do. They're smart. And just Keystone, my wife's from PA. She's from Pittsburgh. So I'm a transplanted Pennsylvania guy.
Are you rooting for the Browns or the Steelers this year?
Okay, I'm about to make anybody that's in Cleveland mad. I am not, and I never have been a Cleveland Browns fan. My parents couldn't figure it out when I was a little kid. I liked the New York Jets. Go figure that one out. Don't know. Here's my thing. I hope they do better because it helps everybody out around the city. But my wife is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so go figure that one out. I got a Pittsburgh. I'm telling you, I now follow Pittsburgh because being married, you follow just like the commercial. But now if it comes down, it's the Jets, the Browns. I hope you do better. But the Jets are bad too, so.
And Pittsburgh, that city, on game day, you can feel the love for the team.
It is awesome.
I'll be honest with you, I experienced it. I experienced the Browns, the Indians, the Pirates.
Mhm.
And when you're in that city for the Steelers game, man,
It shuts down.
there's a pulse. You can feel it, man.
My wife and I would go back on weekends to visit her family. We'd come back on Sunday, and we'd either come back and get back home before the game, or we'd leave after the game. And you're driving through the neighborhoods down there, and everybody's got a Steelers shirt on. So I'm telling you, as much as people in Cleveland don't like them, that Western PA vibe there is very good. I mean, I'm glad we can help people out there, and especially you, Keystone. It's in the middle of the state, literally, with very little resources for our hobby here. But hey, that's what the internet does for us, I guess. So, oh yes, and believe me, he just said I should experience 107,000 fans at Penn State. My wife, real quick, and I'll just use this as a story. I know it's not coin related. I was at a high school football game. I was running my high school football game last year. Coach Franklin came to review one of the kids on the opposite team. So I went over to talk to him. We started talking. I told him my wife's a big Penn State fan. He tells me, he goes, well, let's take a picture together. And he goes, we'll send it to her. So we send it to her, Keystone. Then all of a sudden, Coach Franklin, the most honorable guy I've ever met in my life, goes, he goes, call your wife on your phone. I looked at him like, what do you mean? He goes, call her on the phone. And then he goes, give me the phone. And she's out shopping with my son on a Friday night. My wife's shopping, and he goes, hello, Liz. And he goes, this is Coach Franklin from Penn State. How are you doing tonight? She almost had a heart attack right there. He is literally the most pleasant, nice, honorable man I've ever met in my life. And that right there, my wife's a huge Penn State fan. That made her year forever. So to be honest with you, he's great. So she's rooting for you at the same time, Keystone.
That's when you bust out your NGC slab and a marker and tell them to sign it.
I'm gonna start carrying it around my raincoat on Friday nights.
Hey, Mike, it's a pleasure
Urban Meyer
talking
one.
to
Nobody
you.
want it.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you. We'll definitely do it again, and we'll prepare a little bit better next time. And thank you, everybody who joined us for the chat.
And if we don't talk to you guys before Labor Day, you guys all have a pleasant Labor Day weekend. Hopefully we'll be back before then. So you guys all take care out there. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.